Welcome, one and all. Early Happy New Year's to y'all on the call. Today is December 29th, 2016, and this is Mastermind Call 106. Can't believe we've been doing it for this long, which I guess means we've been doing it just about 2 years. So we really appreciate you taking your time today. We do have 3 people in the queue. Last week we had about a dozen. There's more room. Anytime you want to make a comment, just hit *6 and hit 1, and you will be unmuted. Let me go around the horn with my partners. And Tim, anything you would like to add or contribute this week?
Mostly just that everybody had a wonderful Christmas, enjoyed time with your families, and that you're using this time between Christmas and New Year's to be productive. And if you had a happy Hanukkah to you as well. And we appreciate you. We're glad you're here, and we're here to work with you. And we're kind of taking it somewhat easy this week, but we're here to support you every day. And we've been working with our customers all week, and we're here for you.
Excellent. Chad, I know you have a mastery course coming up. You want to share that and anything else you want to share from a training perspective?
Yeah, sure. Probate Mastery is scheduled for January 9th, and it's on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all sessions starting at 2 p.m. Everything's video recorded. I haven't sent the email invites yet, but if you want to go ahead and get signed up, several have already. When you're in the subscriber portal, you can, on the left, click Probate Mastery under Education and Training. Or if you're not a subscriber, you can see the Probate Mastery course outline on the main website, alltheleads.com, under the Probate System, Education and Training. And if you want to sign up, you can do so from there. But we will start that on the 9th, which I believe is not this coming Monday, but the next.
Excellent. And Chad, I had a couple requests this week, how to join the Facebook group. It's always good to remind them of that. And also how to, and you may have just said it, forgive me if you did, how to get more information about the Mastery course or possibly sign up.
Yeah. So the Facebook group is, if you go to Facebook and search All the Leads Mastermind, that's the closed group that Jim's talking about, and you can request access there. As far as Mastery, I just kind of gave them 2 ways that they can find that information.
Okay, awesome. My last but not least, Tom, anything you want to share from a customer service perspective?
No, nothing specific, just that if anyone needs anything, please just send us an email to support@alltheleads.com, and we track those, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough, guys. As we grow, we do have plans to grow, and we'll talk about that briefly, but we don't want to lose the customer service component of what we do. And you guys know I am always willing to talk to you, but my partners will attest to the fact that I am the least technologically proficient of the 4 of us. So if you call me and have a technology question, I'm just going to refer you to one of these guys anyway. The best, quickest, most efficient way to get help with anything is what Tom just said. Just send an email to support@alltheleads.com and be real specific about what you need help with, and the correct person will call you right back. Our response time is usually less than 30 minutes. And I'm gonna get to the queue. We have 3 people in there. We got room for more. Hit *6 and then hit 1. Just a little bit of a teaser, guys. Since we initiated this company, we always planned on being a transitional lead company, not just probate. It's taken us a few years to really, really perfect the probate process, to get, our customer service and all the services to the point where we really, really think it's not that we're not going to keep improving it, but it's really good right now. We're getting great testimonials. So we are going to be, partners are meeting next Tuesday. We are going to be coming out with some new programs and products this year. So just be on a lookout for that. And with that, we now have 4 people in the queue. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the first one. Phone number ending 7439, you're up.
Hi, guys. My name's Nicole. I had a question for you. When I'm going through the leads, and there's sometimes they don't have an address, or the address is out of state, and so I do my research on the local records, and sometimes I just can't find an address. I'm wondering, what do you say when you're calling them, when we don't have an address to reference?
Okay, good question, Chad.
I assume you mean the deceased last known address, right?
Yeah, the last known address in the county that we're going after.
Yeah. So the deceased last known address is just simply that. It's not always the subject property. So for that reason, we don't ever recommend that you actually reference that. So you wouldn't call Jane Doe and say, hey, I'm calling about your house at 123 Walnut Street. 123 Walnut Street could be an apartment, low-income housing, nursing home, family member's home. It could be really anything. It's just simply where they received mail, their last mail. So what we recommend is having a more general approach of, saying, hey, I understand you're the executor of an estate. We do X, Y, and Z. By the way, is there any real estate that you guys could use some help with? And kind of, focus on the people, not a specific property, because oftentimes, sometimes people don't own real estate because they moved it out of their name to either have money for long-term care or to avoid the probate process. Sometimes they have multiple properties. We've had people uncover multi-million-dollar listings as part of probate that weren't, they were commercial out parcels or hotels that weren't part of, it wouldn't have been indicated by the deceased last known address, but it was a multi-million-dollar piece of real estate. So the best practices is not try to sound too informed, like you know everything about it. Just call and focus on the people. And once the people trust you, learn about the real estate and kind of engineer the solution for them.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. That answers your question. Your ID says Joseph, but I'm assuming that was not you. But does okay. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Thank you for asking. All right. Phone number ending in 0160. You are up.
Hi, this is Carlin.
Hey, Carlin. Welcome.
Thank you. So I just started my second county. Yay!
Yay! Carlin has not been with us that long, and she had such good initial results that she did what I highly recommend, which is add a second county. So thank you for doing that.
I just sent out a different letter. I had been starting with the options letter, and this time I started off with that I think it's called Probate 1 letter, which pretty much says looking for fast cash. I work with investors, as I recall. So I'm thinking I'm going to get people calling that are wanting a fast investor offer. And what I'm wondering is, at what point, like most of the investors I know have this formula of after repaired value, 70% of after repaired value or so less repairs. And, at what point do you tell them that, or, that the investors are going to make super low offers, or, what do you do in that first conversation and thereafter?
So that's a great hook. A lot of people are really curious about that, and most of them aren't willing to sell at that, 50 to 70 cents on the dollar. But it's a great way to start the conversation. What I'd ultimately do in the appointment is take a net sheet that has 3 scenarios. One is a cash scenario, one is kind of an as-is scenario, and the other would be like a full retail scenario that typically is going to require some work. I try not to discuss numbers on the phone. Like you wouldn't want to roll out a number because you've got a lot of homework to do and you don't want to, burn the opportunity. So you can just help them understand, well, listen, cash offers is one of the things we can do. That doesn't work for everybody. So what we'll actually do, we can bring you an offer from our investor. If you're not happy with that, we always have it in the top desk drawer, and we can try some of the other options. And when we meet on Friday, Carlin, I'll kind of explain what those look like, and we'll kind of look at the actual net figures that you could expect from each of those. Does that sound good? Okay, perfect. And so you'll have some time to learn more details about the house and kind of look at each of the scenarios. So you could, after you've seen the house and looked at the values, you can, be much more prepared to have that conversation and at the listing appointment.
Sounds good.
So just let them know that, you can bring an offer and it's always there as a safety net, but you can probably do a lot more for them. And once you're in the appointment, you can tell if they are super motivated to get it done quickly. Then you can kind of just, downplay options B and C and go with the cash offer, or vice versa.
Okay. Yeah, because then there's this question of, right, you don't want to waste your investors' time. So,
just a follow-up
right,
to that.
so
Go ahead, Chet.
Just to give you a way, a lot of real estate agents aren't real familiar with construction costs, and a more efficient way to get to that investor price, like a flip investor. Now, keep in mind, this is a formula for people looking to flip houses. If you have a long-term buy and hold investor, they will typically pay 80 to 90% of market, and because the rental market's so strong. But to get enough meat on the bone for a flip, that 70% minus, or ARV times 70% minus repairs, you can almost within a couple of percent every time if you just take the as-is value. So as a realtor, we can establish that a lot easier. So if I put this house on MLS today, what would it sell for, by this time next week? Like a quick sale, a week or less. And that's kind of an as-is value. And if you just multiply that times 75%, it will 9 times out of 10 will hit within a couple of percent of the ARV times 70% minus repairs.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Perfect. And by the way, you have my permission to add a third county anytime you want.
Thank you so much.
You are
All
very
I need
welcome.
is like a free exclusive.
No problem.
All
Thank you very
good.
much for you. Thanks for your business, and thanks for always participating on the calls.
Oh,
All
my
right,
pleasure.
we have 2 more people in the queue. We do have room for a couple more guys. Hit *6 and hit 1. In the meantime, the phone number ending in 9559, you're up.
Yes, this is Lisa Flores out of Houston, Texas, and I've signed up to receive the list, and I haven't started. Wanted to know if there were scripts that I can access to help prepare me to make those calls.
Sure. So fast track. Have you done the fast track training and subscriber portal?
No, fast track training. Okay.
So the first thing is go to alltheleads.com, and the top right, click on subscriber portal, and you'll land on a dashboard. And we have what's called Probate Fast Track, and it's split into 3 sections. And I think it's only about 38 minutes total. But you can take your time, move at whatever pace you want. But once you get through those 3 training modules, you'll have a really good understanding of what you need to do and in what order. Another really good way to kind of get caught up is listen to some of the archived Mastermind calls and role play calls. And to do that, you can, in subscriber portal on the left, click on conference calls, and at the top there's a blue button for call archive. And you can go by month and by year and sort back through those. But listen to a couple of the role play calls after you've listened to module 3 in Fast Track. And then once you've done that and downloaded the probate seller interview sheet, you might want to listen to a couple of role play calls to kind of get a feel for your language before you start prospecting.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I was embarrassed to admit that, I signed up and haven't done anything yet, but I'm used to prospecting over the phone, so I'm sure.
No way. So kudos to you for raising your hand. I'll never be embarrassed to ask for help. That's why we do this, right?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to share, we don't want to just sell you guys data. We really are passionate about you being successful with it, and it's very frustrating for me, the people that do sign up mean well and do absolutely nothing with it. So thanks for asking that question. I'm sure you're not the only one on the call. And anytime you get to that point where you just feel like you're stuck, just send an email, support@alltheleads, and it'll probably be Chad, but one of us will get right back to you and kind of get you to that next step. So good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Your phone number ended in 9559? Was that you? Phone number ended
Correct.
in 95? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, then next up is phone number ending in 4365.
Hey, Jim, it's Ruby Kaplan. How are you?
Hey, Ruby, welcome.
Jim, remember I told you after the first of the year,
I remember. So you got 3 days left.
See that? I jumped it. Jim, what percent of your agents start off successful in getting listings? When is it a high percentage or is it decent success rate?
Wow, it varies all over the board, and I'll let Chad answer that. If you look at our website, though, just real quick, Ruby, we've got several dozen testimonials of people that did multiple deals their first month, but there are just as many people that it takes them 2 or 3 months to get going. So it's how aggressive you are, and it's somewhat the luck of the draw. Maybe your first month you don't catch them ready to go, and your second and third month you do. That's why we always recommend that you look at this like a 90-day program. Chad, anything you want to add to that as far as the statistics? I know you keep better track of them than I do.
I think there's a lot more variables to success than there is to failure. It's easier to pinpoint. Everybody that fails has typically done the same thing, and that's
right.
Nothing. So
now, are you part of like the consumer rating? Are you, your company? I'm just wondering about that. Is there any information on your company that we can research?
My partner Jim says we're the best company ever.
Right. Aided by consumers, or it doesn't?
I will tell you, you'll find, Ruby, you and I have talked many times. You will find, I don't think you'll find anything negative on us online, and if you go to all the fraud alert companies, fortunately, we're not mentioned there. So, and
I think the only online ratings that we have right now are probably on Facebook.
So now I'm like the lady before. I haven't done anything yet, Jim, and I do want to start because I'm hungry for listings, and I think it's a great niche to get listings through probate. So I'm in Bergen County, and I don't have the contacts that you have with attorneys and banks, etc. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of excited about this. Obviously there must be companies that gear you to short sales and stuff like that. Do you do that as well, or only probate?
No, right now, as I said, probate is our one source. We are going to be coming up with other products later. I do know somebody who I live with that does short sales, so she's done over 2,000 of them. So if you have a short sale, reach out to me, and I'll put you in touch with my wife, Pam. She's closed over 2,000 of them. But we are going to be adding other products in the future, Ruby. But for right now, it is.
I'm always curious, how do people get things? You're a source, Jim, where you get it through the probate leads, So it's not happening on my own. That's how I feel, whether it's probates or short sales.
Right.
I feel I do need a resource. You know that. And I looked at the website just now. Do you have to go on Facebook? I hate having to go on Facebook. Do you have to go on Facebook? I missed that beginning part, actually.
No, we have a Mastermind group. Where you're welcome to Mastermind on Facebook. It's certainly nothing that you have to do. And Ruby, let me do this. Forgive me. We got 5 more people in the queue. I'll give you a call after. No, that's okay. I appreciate your participation. Let me reach out to you after the call, and we'll catch up. I've got your info right here. I'll call you right after.
I'm almost ready to start. So thanks for your time.
Right.
I'm intrigued.
Good talking to you again. Thanks. Phone number ending in 3908. You're up.
Hey, this is Sam from Richmond, Virginia. How you guys doing?
Good, Sam. Thanks for participating. Good,
no problem. So I had just a quick question. I'm working on my second month of leads now. We've had some really good success. I'm at least getting a hold of a lot of people, so that's good. So set up a couple of different appointments. But my question is, I'm working 2 counties, so with all 4 sets of leads that I'm working now, I've had at least 4 different people who either responded to my letters or answered my phone call who said that they were not the personal representative for the estate. 2 of them were relatives that said somebody else was, and then 2 of them weren't related at all. So I guess I was just wondering, how you guys gather the information from.
Yeah, I would suspect that they were phone numbers because we give you multiple phone numbers for everyone. That's not anything that appears with the court records. And sometimes by the time you get to the third or fourth or fifth phone number we give you, it might just be somebody with the same name in the same town, or maybe somebody with a similar address. That's why we always say start with the first phone number first, and that's the most likely to be the most accurate. By the time you get to the third or fourth phone number, if it's a common name, it's we may be picking up a phone number from a different John Smith who lives in Birmingham, Alabama. Tim or Chad, anything you want to add to that?
No, I was just going to say pretty much what you said. We run, when we get the data back, we pull it in, and then we go through a pretty elaborate process to try and secure the best phone numbers that we can. Oftentimes the data that's in the court record is incorrect in regard to the phone number, particularly because people transpose numbers and all that. So we actually spend a goodly amount of time and money to go out and scrub them down and find the best possible shot of getting in touch with that person. And as Jim said, the third or fourth name on that list may in fact not be even related to them. It's just our best cut at doing it. The first two generally are, if there's a cell phone that attaches to that person, that's the best shot that we can do, and it's that person at that address, that cell phone, and kind of the best cut we can get at it. The third and fourth are often residential numbers that are attached to that address, and so that's kind of the process that we go through. And like Jim said, we do the very best job we can at getting it to you. The letter responses you're getting back, I suspect, are probably accurate because the mailing address is almost always correct. We have very few of those that come back incorrect, and we proof them out as well. And we continue to do a better job with that actually after the first of the year. In the first quarter, we're going to be doing a different kind of address scrub. But I think most of the people if you're getting responses back from people that aren't the right people, they're probably from your phone calls. That'd be my guess.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've gotten two different responses back from letters that said, "Yeah, no, this isn't me." And those two, like I said, were relatives of the deceased, but they weren't. They claimed they weren't the executor, or they weren't the person.
Oh well, it's also very possible that in that circumstance, when the original filing was done, and this happens from time to time, someone is nominated as the executor for the estate, and the family gets together and says, that'd be a great idea, but let's let Sally handle that. She's probably better at doing this, has more time, and the heirs just simply agree to go do that. And the court will allow it if they petition the court. So it's possible that it could have changed, but at least they'll identify the right person. And that's what we're really trying to do. Even if we don't get you the exact person, we try to get you to someone who can point you to the person that's taking care of that.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. We got a lot of people in the queue. Phone number ending in 0900. You're up.
Hey guys, how are you? This is Luke from New Jersey. My question is basically, after you get the appointment, is there some type of agenda or checklist or points we should hit up on when we're speaking with the person or meeting with them?
Chad?
Well, so in Probate Mastery, I'll walk you through my entire listing prep and listing presentation to kind of show you, the way we approach it. It really depends on the initial conversation, how many of those steps are involved or not. So if you're preparing to give them options in a listing appointment, there's obviously going to be a little more detail involved in looking at what work needs to be done by a contractor, what clean out needs to be done by the estate sale company or the clean out crew. So depending on the situation, it can be a really simple, almost conventional listing appointment, all the way to a very, a complex transaction engineering problem. So it really depends on how the initial conversation goes as to what all you'll discuss in the listing appointment. If they just want a quick cash offer, that's a pretty simple first appointment. If they want to consider doing renovations with your contractor and selling for absolute top retail, then you're coordinating a lot. You're helping coordinate with the contractor and talking about more details. So it's kind of outside of the scope of this call, but if you're interested in kind of the step-by-step from the initial conversation all the way through the closing, we do that in session 3 of Mastery.
And Chad,
okay.
If it's a phone conversation, there is a very simple script that you suggest that they use with the seller's checklist, and that's part of the fast track program, and that's in the subscriber area on the website.
Yeah, and that's the initial conversation. So
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Two more people, and boy, this timing is going to be perfect. Phone number ending in 5781. You are up.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My question is, how do I get contacted that I have leads? Do I receive an email, a text message, a phone call? Because I'm not finding anything on the website for me to be able to access my account, indicating that I actually have leads.
Good question. And how long ago did you sign up?
I signed up at the Triple Play in the beginning of December.
Okay, so you do have leads by now, I am sure. Tim, you want to handle that, or I think Tom signed off already, or I would have him do it.
Yeah, I would just say the best answer to that is obviously when the leads are available in your county, we always notify you by email. We let you know that you may have missed the email, or it might have been going into your spam filter or anything else. If you will just send an email to support@alltheleads.com, we'll have somebody call you back, and we'll walk through it with you on your email and make sure that you're getting them and validate and check your county at that point. But just drop an email to support. Somebody will probably be able to get back to you this afternoon, and we'll get you squared away.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And
no problem.
normally,
Sorry that you didn't hear from us. And just as a note to everybody on this call, if you're relatively new with us, you may or may not have done this when you first got started, but you need to make sure that you go into your email client and list alltheleads.com as a whitelisted sender, so that any email that we send you from any of the email addresses or from any of us individually, you'll get them, and they'll go into your inbox instead of getting filtered out for spam, because sometimes there are things that even comments that we'll make in there that can trigger a spam filter or whatever. So we want to make sure that you get them, and the best way to do that is to clean it out and make sure that we get whitelisted.
Yeah, I was going to say also, Tim, once we email you the leads, they're also posted in the subscriber access area on your website. There's a link there, so you can double check there. But the email should be the first notice, and they simultaneously get posted on your website. So anyway, yeah, send that email, and we'll take care of it. Thank you very much. And we have one more person in the queue. Phone number ending in 7356. You are up.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is William. I had spoken with someone last week over the phone. I forgot. He sent me a follow-up email. If you could, please give me a call back again. I just wanted to discuss a couple more things.
Sure. What's your? Don't give me your phone number. You may have 50 people calling you. But what's your last name, William?
My last name is Tong, and if anyone wants to call me, I'm in Los Angeles. You're more than welcome to.
How do you spell the last name?
Tong, T-O-N-G.
I do remember you, William. This is Jim. Give me about 20 minutes after the call, and I'll reach back out to you.
Okay, sounds great. So yeah, my question now is so someone recently was taken away to the hospital, and the person there is like obviously going through a very difficult phase right now, and then most likely they're going to be selling the house, or it could be going to probate. It's a very sensitive time, and I want to be very considerate of the situation. I'm wondering what the best way to kind of approach this is.
Great question, because typically with the probate, it's 3 to 4 months from the date of death until the probate gets filed. Chad, maybe if you would answer that, expand also on our recommendation that William and the others contact, nursing homes, care facilities, etc., because that can be a great extra source of getting business.
So what you're saying, William, is it's not actually a probate. You're dealing with a family who is somebody just went into the hospital but they haven't passed away, or is it the surviving spouse that just went into the hospital?
The husband recently left, and then most likely it will be going into probate. So I'm just wondering, what can I do to talk to the surviving spouse or surviving partner, and how I can handle the situation in a delicate manner, because I don't want to, obviously, it's a very, very sensitive time. I don't know how to do it yet, or what I should be doing. Or with any kind of probate lead, it's a very sensitive time. How should we make contact? Kind of what things should we say?
Yeah. Well, what's really helpful is to kind of get your mindset right, is understand their position. So, and it sounds like you're empathetic. You kind of understand that, but just think about what they're going through right now. They're dealing with health issues. They're dealing with, all this stuff. But also they may be dealing with maintenance issues, mortgage issues. I mean, the house could be a huge burden for them in addition to all the other stress that they have. So you could be a godsend. That the fact that you call could be the best thing that's ever happened to them. So think about it in a positive way. And just try to, reach out and say, listen, my name is William. We have a team of people who focus specifically on life transitions and help with real estate. And whether that's, helping get homes cleaned out, helping families downsize, even getting properties sold, there's a lot of things we can do. It really just starts with us understanding your situation and your goals, and then we can kind of make some suggestions. Is there any way that we could help you guys with anything real estate related right now, or do you have everything figured out, or some variation of that? So try to help them understand who you are, why you're reaching out, that you're doing it for the right reason, and see if there's any way that you can help them. And some people are going to go, oh my gosh, it's so weird that you called. We have got to move this house because mom can't, we can't afford the hospital bills, and Medicaid won't pay until we get it sold, and yada yada. And some people will be offended, and just don't take that personally. You gotta always remember when you're prospecting anything, it's they don't know you, they don't really have a problem with you. You might catch them on a bad day and a really stressful time, and it's just remember you're doing the right things for the right reasons, and just try to call and start a conversation and provide value in any way you can. And that may be helping them get downsize, working with your senior moving service, working with your estate sale company, working with you as a realtor. You never know until you have the conversation. But I'd never hesitate to call spouses, because a lot of times that life change of losing a partner means that they have to do something that they weren't planning on as well, and get out of that house and into something smaller, or get out completely so that their long-term care will be paid for.
Right. Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. We do have one more person in the queue, and we're going to try to keep this. We're going to go a little bit over today, guys. We want to take care of everyone. Phone number ending in 7878. You're up.
Hey, Jim, it's Mike in Arizona. I want to sign up, so can I give you a call a little bit later on?
No, sorry, Mike. We have all the customers we need this year. Absolutely, Mike. What's your last name?
Foley, Foley.
Oh, I remember you well. Absolutely. I think what Mike just did, everybody should go get a friend and tell him to do the same. Thank you, Michael.
It was all about time, Jim. I'll talk to you a little bit.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay.
Hey, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. As always, thank you for an incredible year for our business and hopefully for yours. I always like to end these calls by challenging you. You took 30 minutes today to be here today, so please, take one idea, one thought, one thing that inspired you from this call. Go out and put it into practice and come back and share your results with us next Thursday. Happy New Year to all of you, and it's going to be a very happy and prosperous 2017. Thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. Be careful. Have fun. We'll talk to you next Thursday. Take care.